want to show this. I got this hat a while back. It's called a charro. Most Mexicans what happened there? Charro. You know what a charro is? Sombrero. Cesar Chavez and Larry Leon. Why the Chicanos, the Filipinos, why the problem with Norteños and Sureños, why Mexicans are still not stable as a united Mexico, and why Zapata was assassinated. Why did they assassinate Zapata? Again, you can Google or Wikipedia Emiliano Zapata. You can Emiliano Zapata. You can find out more. That before he was assassinated, he had a plan called Plan de Ayala. And Ayala is a Mexican group in the Philippines. They're mestizos in the Philippines, more leaning to the white mestizos. Emiliano Zapata was a Mexican that was leaning more to the indigenous people. Pancho Villa was a mestizo that had a little more leaning to the white, and he was able to go to Los Angeles in, I think, in 1920, after they won the revolution. But within the revolution people, a new president named Carranza, they went after both Zapata and Pancho Villa, and they killed them. They killed them. Pancho Villa died in 1923, but Emiliano Zapata died a little earlier, 1911, April 10th, 1911. I think it was 1911. But verify my dates. Emiliano Zapata, the Mexican culture is so embedded in our history, because way before the Spanish-American War, from 1520s, Hernan Cortez, first Magellan tried. Magellan aligned with, you divide and conquer by aligning with another group of tribal warriors, and that's how you get to conquer the Indians. You get to conquer that's how Pizarro conquered. So a lot of our history, the indigenous history, is not really, it's in the books, but it's not really, Hollywood has not really produced them. Well, corrections, John Steinbeck wrote Viva Zapata, and Viva Zapata, Hollywood produced that a while back when Anthony Quinn and Marlon Brando were leading men in Hollywood. And Anthony Quinn, he played his brother, Emiliano Zapata. Because, you always have a scene partner. You always have a scene partner. In theater, at least theater, we got to bring our props and kind of like cosplay the character we emulate. But, sometimes we just got to do a monologue. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, is monologue. And this is my interpretation or a rendition of a Zapata, Mr. Emiliano Zapata. But I am Stanley Jack Kowalski. Stanley. call me Stan here in Modesto, but I'm today's Zapata. So I created this character. This I've had this sombrero for a while. I said I'm gonna do that, but so this is really my first time, guys. My first time to perform as Emiliano Zapata. Here in Oakdale, California, the vaqueros, you know, throughout the United States, the cowboy capital of the world is in Oakdale, California. If you Wikipedia, where's the cowboy capital of the world? It'll be Oakdale, California. They have rodeos and there's a museum, cowboy museum. And so I got this rope at Oakdale, California. It's a souvenir. It should be a... All right. So, what is Plan de Ayala? Hola, hola, Estados Unidos. Mi amo es Emiliano Zapata. Emiliano. And si gusto mas information about Emiliano, the one that died in 1900s, early 1900s, go Wikipedia him, okay? Emiliano Zapata. You can go use yours. That's what I use. I've read him a lot, I think, and of course Marlon Brando played him. He did an all right job, but this is my rendition. It's a peaceful path. Emiliano's para la paz, for peace between Filipinos and Mexicans, or the Aztecs versus the Tlaxcalas. Because the indigenous people, again, the Mexican Empire, before the Spanish-American War, from the 1520s to 1890s, 1899, the Mexican and Filipinos, the servants, the Mission Indians of California, all the servants, they were Indios, and some of them were captives from Mexican Apache war or raid. When Mexican raids Apache villages, they would take those Apaches and bring them in, and they get routed everywhere in the Mexican Empire. Now the Mexican Empire was big, huge. The old map. If you look at the old map before the Spanish-American War, you will see the how much it's like a Roman Empire, you know, but the Spanish Empire, which is New Spain, Mexico, the New Spain Empire, you can see that every time they raid tribes like the Romans, they would acquire them and push their culture on them. That's how the Greeks did it first to the Romans, right? The Greeks, wherever Alexander the Great, he embedded the culture of the Greeks in the nations that they conquered. The same thing with the Hispanics, New Spain territories, from, I mean, not just Central America, but all the way up to North America, all the way to San Rafael, California, all the way to, you know, Utah, you know, all those territories, Florida, Texas. That was all Mexico or New Spain, all the way down to the South America, Peru. Those are all New Spain. Brazil, well, you know, there was a combination of Portuguese and the Spanish Empire. But Emiliano Zapata today, I want all Mexicans and Filipinos, every 5 de Mayo, por favor, cada 5 de Mayo, celebrar la huelga strikes for labor rights, better working conditions in the agriculture area, and of course in the film industry for the Writers Guild and Actors Guild, or APTRA. But me, Emiliano Zapata, I want the Norteños, Sureños, and Filipinos, Asia, Chinos, end that. No more. We're all the same. The Constitution, we the people, todos gentes. That's the new law. La ley en la tierra, okay, the land law. All right, that's the law of the land. And I'm portraying a rodeo, but if I don't use the rodeo rope, take this out. Again, I'm a Chicano, Emiliano Zapata Chicano. I am not Mexican, I am not Filipino, I am American Indio. Because I was telling you that the mezclado of Indios were captives of the Spanish New Spain Empire. Apaches, Navajos, Jemes, all the indigenous that were captives of the Mexican Empire, they all wore the white uniform with the red bandana. They all became Mission Indian. But because in 1911, Emiliano Zapata's plan was, I believe his plan was, Plan de Ayala was to fake his death. That's my assumption. You know, make an ass out of you and me. But I think that's what he did. He escaped from, near Mexico City. He was in Chinamaca. Got that, Raymond? It's a Chinese Chinamaca in Morelos, Mexico. Central Mexico. That's where they assassinated him, at this hacienda. And he was Plan de Ayala. But the Ayala are very wealthy in the Philippines. And, the Spanish culture, after USA let it go, I mean, not let it go, but gave its independence, Plan de Ayala, the Ayalas are the wealthiest. But I believe he faked his death, Emiliano Zapata, and exodus out to the Philippines. And he had a last name named Salazar or Ayala. And then, of course, Manny Pacquiao came back. I don't know, I'm just creating this character. Today's Emiliano Zapata. I'm just trying to create this, brand spanking new character. What would Emiliano Zapata be if he returned this century, right? 23rd century. And who was Emiliano Zapata? He was a peasant. He was speaking up for the indigenous people. He was speaking up for like we the people, the Americans, we the people have to speak up. We have to speak up. To me, I'm not saying I'm a feminist, but I believe we got to give a woman president a chance. We the people need a woman president. What do you think? So, my envision is Emiliano Zapata. Today's Emiliano Zapata would be carrying a gun holster underneath. He would carry a gun holster underneath his blazer, right? Carry his gun underneath his blazer, And yes, I'm writing a script as Emiliano Zapata 2023 and beyond, because we the people have to awaken the people, we the people, and double check the Constitution laws if they are being followed or violated. Whoever disobeys the U.S. Constitution, we gotta catch them. We gotta let them know. You cannot allow a Nazi or any one group bullying other groups. That totally was the battle in the civil rights. You know, the Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, he wanted black war. You know, he wanted violence like the Civil War. You know, blacks, if Abraham Lincoln did not issue proclamation emancipation, the South would have won. If the blacks did not join the Union, the Yankees would have lost. But today, people of color, the blacks, I think they want to see a female president. I want to see a female president. As Emiliano Zapata, I want to see a female. So I've been posting two candidates. On the Republican side is Nikki Haley, and on the Democratic side is Marianne Williamson. Both have good points. And like what my forefathers say, Emiliano, procreation can only be performed by women. So respect the women, respect your esposa, respect your wife. Female dogs can only have puppies, not a male dog. Female cats can only have kittens, not a male cat. ¿Entiendes? Do you understand? All right. Oh yeah. So I have this other, this Armado Guerrero. This is, we gotta get ready. Revolution, no. We just wanna add the Constitution, the Star Spangled Banner. We the people. That's all we want. That's what Emiliano Zapata today. Todos, everybody. Mexican Americans, Filipino Americans, Armenian Americans, Ukrainian Americans, Russian Americans. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, Estados Unidos. And then we take back Philippines, Mexico, and all the Central America, make it all we the people. Because we will need people to go to Mars. And so anybody in the streets, homeless, put them in a Mars colony testing center. Put all these homeless people in a Mars colony, Mars and a moon. That is what Emiliano Zapata today would say. Todos pobrecitos, homeless, drug addicts, por favor, put them in la Martian colony trials, field trials, and moon colony field trials. If they survive in the colony, the test labs here on Earth. Then we ship them to the moon and Mars. They have to be useful. I mean, if there's no more work, and if all the AI, artificial intelligence, and the android robots are taking over the jobs for men and women, and of course, women, they can now, I mean, people now can procreate by lab, test tube, for a long time, test tube. But the natural way to procreate was an original sin. Right? Because when Eve sinned originally, she was given a womb and a vagina. Before that, she was like the way the angels are. There is no genitals. Only when they disobeyed that they had to procreate outside of the garden. Adam and Eve. East of Eden, east of Garden of Eden, is Hawaii. Hawaii is Havaya. That's how the indigenous people say it in Hawaii. ¿Entiendes? Havaya. Hava. That means Eve. All right, anyways. All right, so you get a little taste of, earlier we did the Professor Benjamin Washington, and now we've done Emiliano Zapata. Hey, I will arrest you en este país, Estados Unidos, if you don't sing "We the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. All amendments have no problem. They, especially amendment number 1, we have the freedom of speech, freedom of the press. And second amendment, because women are tiny, little Indios, little Filipino, and little Mexicans are tiny compared to the giants. So, an equalizer is the Second Amendment. Now, if you take that away, then the little people are going to get bullied, as was before. The Indians were bullied by the conquistadors and the slavers. So, for only protecting we the people. All right, I gotta put away this prop. All right, some of these are Big 5 toy. It's a BB gun. All right, thank you very much. I'm gonna remove my costume. Emiliano Zapata today. Again, I allowed the spirit of why they killed Emiliano Zapata and Pancho Villa by their own Mexicans, because the white Mexicans, the European Mexicans, or the Spanish-looking Mexicans, telenovelas and Telemundo, the leading man is always gringo, he's always white. And there's only a few percentage of white people in Mexico, but most of the TV shows are white. Where are the Indios? Where are the black people and the Indios, the little brown people in Mexico? We have a place here called Cardenas, there are a lot of little Asian-looking Mexicans in that Cardenas here in Crow's Landing. You know, if you go to pretty much Mexican stores, you think they're little Filipinos or little Asians, but they're Mexicans. They're indigenous Guerrero, Michoacan. Yeah, so imagine today's Emiliano Zapata carrying a detective self-defense tool. Whew, that's hot. That was hot. Right. Again, creating these characters is a job for writers. Maybe you can write me a lead role, Mr. Raymond. Help me. I'm an independent. I'll remain independent. But I like to work for ANTP and get hard like the way Pedro Pascal, a white dude with a mustache that kind of like resembles me now. Anyways. But brown men that have a DNA of those black Aetas, black pygmies, or, you know, descendants of, we got to work hard for, well, I've been absent in LA, so I haven't been auditioning, you know, so I have to just rely on my monologue and social media. Whew. It's a little hot in my little tiny set, but I gotta get going. It's already past, we're in OT. Ooh, sweat. Costumes. But yeah, when you go to a set and the costume and hair department and they